Hey guys, Mauro here. I'm gonna give you 5 tips that you wanna work on when you're let's say when you're practicing a new technique on your something that you have improved, something that you have changed on your backhand, on your forehand, on your serve, pretty much on anything. This is kind of like a blueprint, like something like the way you want to approach that shot, what you can expect, and the way you want, how you want to be ready to practice whatever new technique, whatever is new that you want to improve. Okay, so the point number one I want to talk about is focus on progress, not results. Progress, not results, to me is pretty much like synonym of put the ego aside. A lot of people, I would say most people, focus on the results when they're working on something, on the forehand, on the backhand, whatever they're doing. If they don't, let's say they're working on the backhand, if they hit the ball and they focus more on the trajectory of the shot, if the ball went in, if it was a nice top spin or angle or speed or whatever it is, if it's something like that, if the shot comes good, they're happy about it. But if the shot doesn't come good, they're not happy about it. So they're focusing on the shot instead of thinking, okay, one thing you want to pay attention, the thing you want to pay attention to is the progress on your ground stroke, on your technique, on what you're applying. You have to focus more what happens inside your bubble. What happens here, you're moving your feet, you're making contact early, you're keeping your head still at hitting. Those are the little things that you have to focus in. Progress, not results. If the progress is done, if what you're doing, if what you're changing, you go little by little, is done the right and proper way, don't worry, the shot will take care of itself. I have said this before in another one of my videos. Again, it's like building a house, and you're building a house and it's gonna be a 2-story house, and you're worried because you don't know how you probably have problems with the measures of the 3rd bathroom on the 2nd story, and you're already kind of worried about it when you haven't even started building the house. Don't worry about that. You have to worry first about the foundations, flattening up the land, putting all the pipes and all that stuff. You go brick by brick, little by little. If everything is done properly, in the end the house is going to be fine. So don't jump in time, don't focus in progress. That's an ego thing. And the ego, the only thing that it's going to do is it's going to destroy your dreams. It's just going to destroy your goals. It's going to destroy your feelings. It's just going to make you feel bad. Ego only looks for validation and approval from others. So you got to put that thing aside. You have to be, because you got to be ready. It's probably going to be a medium-term or long-term thing. And you have to be ready for a marathon, not a sprint, guys. All right, point number 2. Your potential affects how much action you take. Your potential, I mean, how much potential you think you have is going to affect how much action you're going to take. If you don't believe that you have the potential to really develop that stroke, it's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter how much. Action is not going to change it. You can practice it for hours every day. But if in your mind you don't have the belief that you can develop that backhand, that you can get to hit that ball over and over, that you can get a hold of it and become a player with a consistent and reliable backhand, if you cannot see it in your mind, if you don't believe that you can be that person, if you don't feel entitled, if you don't feel that you belong among the group of people that can do that, it's just not going to happen. You have to do more. You have to be able to see it in your mind, and you have to replay it in your mind over and over and over and over until you create certainty, until you truly believe that you can do it. I know this is something that a lot of people they really don't care much about it. We're usually more the kind of like the kind of people that say, all right, when we're trying to do something, if I wanna try something, it has to prove to me that it works before I really try it. See, so a lot of people, before they really try, they kind of want to find a way to say, okay, prove to me that you really work and I'll try it. When Things don't work that way. You just gotta dedicate and commit yourself to trying, to doing over and over, you know. And you gotta be able, you know, you gotta be able to see it in your mind, and you gotta be able to practice it and believe it, you know. And until then, until you become that person, if you're not ready to receive up here, you're not gonna receive it on the court. You're not gonna receive it physically. You're not gonna receive that gift, that backhand. The only way being ready to receive is with an open mind and thinking, I can't be that person. And the only way to do that, guys, is you just have to be able to see in your mind. If you want to do visualization, if you want to do yoga, if you want to, whatever you want to do, you know. But this is something that you have to jump all in and say, okay, I have to be able to look at myself and do it. You know, I have to be able to look at myself and believe it. If you start doubting, it's like the guy that goes around selling TVs like they did in the past or something. Or you go to let's say you go to an electronic store and the guy comes to you and, you know, and you're looking for probably like a new TV, a new television or something. And then the guy that comes to you, the seller, he doesn't believe he can sell you the newest TV, the nice 65-inch TV, you know, with 4K high definition and everything. And he comes to you and he says, hey, you don't need one of these, do you? I mean, of course, if he approaches it like that, he's not gonna be able to sell it. He probably someone will buy it from him just out of pityness. But if you approach it like that, like, oh well, you know, it's not gonna happen. So that's one thing that you have to think in your mind. You have to be able to see yourself doing it. Okay. The third one is you create that belief, like I mentioned before. You create that belief through mental work, not action. The truth is that it doesn't matter how much action you take if you don't believe that you can be that person. It's just not gonna happen. And if we don't believe, the action that we take is kind of we're not really all there. You know, we don't really take a lot of action. We don't believe, we don't take a lot of action. We don't take a lot of actions, we don't get results. If we don't get results, we look at it, you know, and say, see, I'm saying I cannot be that person. I just can't. See? So it's just a cycle that is gonna happen over and over again. Okay, let's try again. All right, okay, here we go. I know it's not gonna work, but here we go. And then you try again, you don't believe it. The action that you take you're not really putting your best self out there, or sometimes you just don't practice it as much. So you don't put the action out there, it doesn't happen, and you reinforce that belief in your head that you cannot create, that you cannot become that person, that you cannot develop the backhand or whatever it is that you want, that you're trying to develop. So that is one thing that you have to pay attention. It's not really action what you want to focus. It's more working, looking at yourself, being able to do it. And once your mind is in the right state, once you are in the right state of mind, then the action is gonna pay you. The action is gonna happen. Then if you're in the right state of mind, you make the shot, and then the mind says, see, I told you, you're capable of doing that. And then you feel empowered, and here we go again, and then you do it again. So it's a negative cycle that is gonna repeat itself if you start the wrong way, or it's a positive cycle that is gonna repeat itself if you start the right way. All right? Okay, number 4, give up short-term mindset. There is no instant gratification in the things that are worth, guys, period. And if you've been playing tennis for a little bit, you know that when you're trying to improve something, you're not gonna build that beautiful two-handed backhand or one-handed backhand in just a couple of weeks. It's a long-term thing. It's something that requires a lot of work. It's something that requires sacrifice. It's something that requires patience. So that is a very important thing that you have to. That's something that you really want to pay attention. You gotta have a lot of patience. You have a big goal, and you have to it's like a big cake that you have to cut it in very small slices, and then you have to work on each slice. And you have to say, okay, if I'm working on my two-handed backhand, all right, just Just from the start, my footwork is not that good. Okay, let's start with the footwork. First thing, okay, let's focus on that footwork first. The second one, you know what? I'm probably not rotating enough. You know, okay, then we start rotating enough. Once you work on that, you say, you know what? I don't think I have the right grip, so let's fix that. Okay, then let's fix that. So you have to have. You want to think big. You have to believe you can do it. Don't stop thinking small, like, oh well, if I just at least get to, you know, play back, hit the ball back now and then. No, think big. But the thing that you want to do is you have to cut that big cake in very small slices, you know, and then you start creating those tiny goals, and you just start putting them all together, little by little. You're a tennis player. If you're a tennis player, you know that that's how tennis works, and pretty much anything. That's how school works, and that's how projects from work or projects from school work as well. Is the best thing you can do is, okay, don't think I want to do something small. No, think I want to do something big. But in order not to look at it like massive, like too overwhelming, and feel like the world is closing down on you when you see it, you gotta go in small parts, work on each one, small goals, and from then you can move on. And the fifth one, guys, you have to commit to approach the shot or the game with authority. I have said this before in other videos. It's the way when let's say you're waiting here to return the serve, and when you return the serve, you're like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't go for my backhand. And if it's a bouncy ball up here on my back, oh God, that's gonna suck big time. See, if you go hesitant, your result, your shot is just a reflection of what you have in your head. The way your body reacts is been proven by science. The way the body reacts has a lot to do with how you're thinking, how you're feeling up here. Okay, so you have to commit and say, okay, no matter what, I'm gonna move, and I see that ball coming, and I'm gonna lean towards that ball whenever I can, and I'm just gonna swing freely. Swing freely, you know, doesn't mean swing crazy, but just natural, the way what you're learning, you know, forehand or backhand, whatever it is. But you have to commit to the shot, and commit to the shot. And from point number one, we talk about the ego. You know that you're gonna be missing a lot of shots, probably, but you're ready for that. You know that's part of the process. That's part of the project. That's part of becoming that player. So you have to learn to move with authority towards that ball, you know. And if you miss it, just go back. You just learn from it and let it go, and then you move on. I'm ready for the next one. Let's try again, and here we go. And you just gotta do it over and over and over, guys. And you're gonna find out that it turns out it becomes easier and easier, you know, to just recover from missing shots and things like that. But you have to feel like, okay, I gotta move towards that ball with authority. It's amazing, believe me, try it. It's amazing the difference that your body and your mind, but you will notice in your body right away, the difference it makes in your body, the way you feel when you move towards the ball with authority, with confidence, looking for it, transferring your weight, your weight, and actually thinking, you know what, I am that player that I want to become. I'm already that player. I'm still working on the process, but you have to believe I'm already that player. You move much faster, you hit the ball better, you're more relaxed. Just the fact that you're more relaxed makes everything much easier, guys. So remember, pay attention to these 5 points. It's very important, you know, from the 1 to the 5. I wanted to put it together because I had a lot of people on my channel, and also throughout my, you know, all the time that I have, all the years that I have been teaching, asking me, you know, how do I approach? I mean, I've been working something, and it's just, you know, I've been trying to improve this stroke, new volley, new serve, and it just doesn't work out. And I was trying a year ago the new serve or something, and after a couple of weeks that they try, they give up. And I think that's a lot of people out there don't know how to do it. They don't know how is that process to do that. So I wanted to put it together, guys. I hope it helps. give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and well, it's good to see you all again. Remember, go out there, stay centered, be bold, be perseverant. Thank you.